guess the very first conversations really started happening back in, I guess, last year, really, when Paul Maurice actually met with Burmy back at the World Championships, and obviously Paul was coaching over there, and so they had an opportunity to sit down and talk. And at that point in time, Burmy still had one more year left on his deal, and so I guess the groundwork in some respects for the future was laid back then. And as the winter progressed, there had been some dialogue between his representative and ourselves, and then as the summer started to unfold, it just became more and more apparent that there was an opportunity to get a deal that was going to work for both sides, from a financial standpoint. And obviously Alex went over there and played a couple of years, and I think got paid very well, and was looking forward to the opportunity to resume his NHL career as a very young player. That again, when we took the team over here, we had extreme high hopes that he would be part of our core moving forward, and he gets that opportunity to reestablish himself in the group.
A 2-year deal with an AAV of 155. He'll still be an RFA at the end of it. It's a very reasonable price.
Yeah, it's like a traditional bridge deal, I guess, when you're talking about the potential RFAs.
So a potential for him to show you he's grown as a player and give you the opportunity to have a real opportunity to retain him at the end of this development.
It's a very unique situation, obviously, with a young player going over there with the contractual rights that are, still afforded to us from the CBA with respect to a young player. So it's a deal that both sides, certainly felt comfortable with, and it'll give both sides an opportunity to resume what is a promising young, athlete's career. Sorry.
Are you convinced he wants to do this for the right reasons?
I don't think he really ever wanted to leave the National Hockey League. I think that, I wasn't around when he was drafted, but I was part of different organization when, it was his draft year. So, that when you do talk to these players during that time, their passion, is to play in the National Hockey League. So what happened in the past happened in the past. We're 2 years more mature as an organization. He's 2 more years mature as a player. Obviously, Paul Maurice's experience in coaching at the international level, I think, is only going to benefit this process. And, again, in talking to Paul, he really, even when Paul first took over here, he was a name, Alex's was a name that he talked about when he was a coach in Carolina. And, so Paul doesn't have, I guess, intimate history with him, but Paul has, some history of coaching against him, and has an expectation of and a belief in what he is as a player.
What kind of growth do you hope that you see in his game in that 2 years?
Well, one thing that Alex always was an extremely responsible defensive player, really good on the penalty kill, can really, jump into the play, good speed, and again, it was a little more physical than I think what people maybe gave him credit for. So I think that side of his game, was his foundation of his game. But he's been given more opportunities over there to create offense. Obviously, creating offense over there is a little different than creating offense over here. So, I think that there'll certainly be some growth and some maturity in how he approaches the game from a more well-rounded aspect.